Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to share TCS Ninja interview experience, which is shared by students. So let's get started. How was the experience of there? So there were three panelists who were taking interview. One HR, one TR, one managerial. That is managerial person, the technical person, and the human resource person. So there were three panelists who will be taking your interview. Now, before getting into deep dive into their experience, there is a one suggestion I would like to give, because what I have found that the conclusion of their interview is this: go deep dive into your favorite technologies or languages. Because suppose if you know any language, you are good into that, then go into deep dive of that language or that technology. Okay. Now the second point, which I want to conclude through their experience, from their experience, get good understanding on your project. You should be knowing your project, like how your projects it behaves, how the front end and back end, if you have made some web application, how the front end and back end are communicating with each other. What are the post call, what are the get call, how you have used it. You should know how to write that, at least you should know how to write that code. And from front end, they can ask anything, any tag. If you are using in HTML, if you have used in your front end, they can ask you to write a code on that. It's that they are going into deep dive. So you should have a good understanding on your project from front end to back end. If you have worked on front end, you can tell easily. If you haven't worked on back end, just simply say somebody else was taking the back end thing. So at least you should know how the projects are communicating with each other, how the front end and back end are communicating with each other. This is related to if somebody has developed some web development and all that stuff. So you should have a good understanding on your project. The third thing, prepare your introduction well. If you are putting your technologies, the field of interest in your introduction, they are surely going to ask the questions from there. So this is my suggestions which I have concluded from their experience. Now let's proceed further. So one of the student, he has mentioned data structure as his field of interest or whatever in his technology. So he has mentioned so many technologies, out of which the interviewer selected two. One is data structure, other is SQL. So what are the questions he got from data structure? You can see on the screen. Linear and non-linear DS, what is that? What is binary tree? Why is there a need to use binary tree? Why do we need BST? Explain all traversal, write down all traversal, means write down the program of all that. So you should, if you have mentioned any technology, suppose you haven't mentioned data structure, then don't worry. Whatever you have mentioned, you will get a deep dive questions from there. So prepare well, take one technologies or one language, go into deep dive of that. Now that the person has also mentioned SQL. So these are the questions that he has faced in SQL. What are view and materialized view? Can you do indexing on view? How would you tune an SQL query? Told me to trigger it, create a trigger. Had discussion on that trigger. That is the what the student has shared. I just posted it here. You can see what are the questions they have asked from SQL. Means they haven't asked only the basic SQL queries. They have gone into deep dive of SQL. So if you have mentioned SQL, they will go into deep dive of that. So prepare well on the technologies you have mentioned. At least one technologies. Don't go on different technologies and don't read about all the technologies together. You need to select one and just go into deep dive on that. So you can read out the questions from SQL if you have mentioned SQL. Now one of the student, he has mentioned machine learning as a core. He was interested in that. So apart that is the basic questions, hoops and abstract class. After that, our discussion was going on machine learning. How the discussion was, you can see on the screen. Decision tree, YouTube suggestion algorithm, that XYZ things he got that questions on machine learning. So scenario where machine learning would have worked better than conventional method and all that stuff. You can see on the screen, right? Means take one technology, take one language or whatever, go into deep dive of that. Prepare your project thoroughly. Like you should have a good understanding on your project, how you are connecting your project, like if you are developing a web app and all that stuff. So this is all about his machine learning questions. Now the next is HR. HR will be pretty much straightforward. Why do you want to join Ninja and why TCS? So you can prepare. These questions are very common in HR. Hope you have already prepared these kind of questions for HR round. So at least actually HR looks for the flexibility of and adaptability of the person. So if the HR is asking you whether you are comfortable in relocating and all that stuff, and how they can trust on your relocation, then you can give an example. Like you are very much interested in exploring new place and all that stuff. You can give an example with a confident. So HR will be impressed by these two if you have that this two behavioral, like the flexibility and your adaptability. That what an HR or manager that people look for. So this is all about their experience. So guys, at last I would like to conclude, like, what you have to focus. You have to focus on at least one technical skills and go into deep dive of that. You need to prepare your project well, from front end, back end, whatever tech tools or technologies you have used in your project, just go thoroughly on that. I'm not scaring you here. I'm just telling you, you have a time, at least a day or a 2 day, or if your interview is not yet conducted, then yeah, you have time. Just take few topics and go into deep dive. Few languages and go into deep dive of that. There is nothing you need to focus on all the technologies or all the languages. So hope I have cleared your doubt and you can prepare well for your interview. Hope this video was useful. If it was useful, please press thumbs up and thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.